just gonna start coming and attending.
Morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Putnam County Board of County Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, July 26, 2022. Just want to welcome everybody here this morning. We'll begin our meeting by asking Pastor Chaplain Ted Stackpole with U.S. Missions and Foster Adoption to come forward to deliver our invocation, and then we'll ask Commissioner Turner to lead us in the pledge. Please stand if you're able.
Would you bow your heads with me? Dear Heavenly Father, as David pens the question in Psalms 121, from where does our help come from? He also makes the declaration that his help comes from the Lord, who's the maker of heaven and earth. Today, as Putnam County Commissioners in our community look for help, guidance, and direction, may we find confidence in your greatness as well. I give thanks for continuing to bring synergy, unity, and focus to that which matters. I give thanks for innovation, visioneering, and aspirations wrapped up in our committees and work groups. And I believe your word that declares that as the heavens are higher than the earth, so your ways are higher than our ways and your thoughts than our thoughts. And I declare that Putnam County will continue to move forward towards good health, stable jobs, higher education, and thriving families. Today I lift up my head in confidence that our help truly does come from the Lord. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. Wherever it is. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chaplain Stackpole. It's always good to see you. And thank you, Commissioner Turner and staff. If you could alert us when you're going to move the flag. It's been over to the right for a few months now. So anyway.
They're not listening to you.
Okay, gentlemen, Commissioner Adamczak is not with us this morning. I hope he will join us. Has anybody heard from Commissioner Adamczak?
I talked to him the other day. He said that he was feeling under the weather, but he thought he may be able to make this afternoon's meeting.
Okay, all right.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, I move approval of the minutes that are in our agenda.
Second.
Okay, we've got a proper motion to approve the minutes as presented and a proper second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor indicate saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Okay, we'll move down to the 905 Certain Solid Waste Collection and Disposal District, adopting the resolution and setting solid waste assessments and user fees for fiscal year 22-23. I know that the mayors are from Interlochen, Palatka, and Crescent City are on this particular board. I do not see any of them. I guess we can go ahead and proceed without them.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, we're huddled up over here having a conversation. I apologize.
Okay. On the solid waste collection, I know that the mayor of Crescent City, Interlochen, and Palatka are on this particular board, and I do not see him, but we can go ahead and proceed.
I believe you can, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. I spoke with Mayor Myers from Crescent City, and she has a issue that she had to take care of this morning, and she sends her regrets that she could not make it, but she is aware of the information that will be presented. So we'll turn this over to Julianne.
Thank you, Commissioner. In your packets is a agenda packet for the solid waste assessment and user fees for fiscal year 22-23. In summary, based upon the current on-site leachate treatment costs and other ongoing landfill development and monitoring requirements, the landfill operation portion of the solid waste assessment and user fee will be decreased from $125 to $100. Based upon the increase in cost of services, the recycling component will increase from $39 to $40 per household. This will result in a combined cost of $141 from the $23 reduction from the prior year for those households that do not experience collection. So that would be the city of Crescent City and the city of Palatka. For the remaining households, for the collection portions, the solid waste user fee will be the $276, which is a decrease from last year of $17. That's in summary of the items before you. Recommended action is to adopt the resolution setting the special assessment and tipping fees for the 22-23 fiscal year.
Okay. Commissioners, any discussion or questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Okay, excuse me, Commissioner, you're first, Commissioner Turner. We got to get this fixed because Turner is turning on Commissioner Harvey's light.
He's
So
got a lot.
those are
Yeah, I got an upgrade today.
exactly. So, all right. So Commissioner Turner.
Yes, I just want to make sure that I understand that it's real easy to do this quick and that I want to make sure that we have full transparency here, and that would be that we were able to drop the solid waste assessment again this year for the third time, I believe it is. And we were able to do it another $17 this year off the solid waste assessment. But that doesn't include the fact that not only recycling, but curbside pickup went up $12 between the two of them, or in that neighborhood.
Correct.
So this is really close to almost a $30 deduction in the, what it would have been if we hadn't had the increase that was allowed through the pickup, solid waste pickup. So I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention, that we're slowly working on this assessment. Hopefully one day we'll get it down to where there is no assessment for Putnam County. I don't know that we'll get there, but we're definitely working it in the right direction with all the increase in fuel costs and everything else that's going on at the landfill and with collection people. So we are definitely heading in the right direction, and I was just glad to see that we could do a 17 this year instead of a break even, because I don't know if everybody else has been to the gas pumps lately, but I'm sure you have, and the fuel has gone crazy. And even though it's come down a little at the moment, it's still crazy compared to a year ago. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, everybody's attention, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Turner. Commissioner Harvey, did you have a comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I kind of want to echo what Commissioner Turner said. You know, years ago, when I first got here, landfill, part of it was up for sale, and I fought real hard for that not to happen, because it has a big potential to save the citizens of Putnam County money, and we don't have to be beholden to somebody else. And Commissioner Turner, I want to say thank you for taking the lead on this, for what you did. And I also want to say to Mr. Tilton and our staff, good job. I mean, seriously, great job getting the right people in, the right seats on the bus to get this moving forward. Every year we see a little bit reduction. We don't see you know, it's not a huge reduction, but like Commissioner Turner said, it would have been had the other fees gone up. But anytime we can put money back into our citizens' pockets, that's a win-win for me. And garbage is one of those things that you want to get rid of as quick as you possibly can. And truly, you know, our hauler, everybody does a really wonderful job in this county. I wish people didn't go out in the woods and dump. There's no need to do that. There's no need for that at all. But, you know, we have a really well-run sanitation department and landfill, and we have a really great waste hauler. So I'm just excited about the future of Putnam County, and I think anytime we can put any money back in our citizens' pocket, it's a win-win to this board. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Harvey. And I'll comment on it also and thank Commissioner Turner for his efforts with solid waste. And also, Jay, thank you for coming on board and doing what you've done out there with your staff and creating efficiencies and different things that you know, saves money and improves performance. So we sure appreciate that. So Commissioner Rawls. Okay.
Today's backwards day. I want to echo the same sentiments that was already been stated. I think it's actually 4 years in a row. I know the year before I got elected, there was a reduction as well, so, or the year I got elected. So I think this is a great thing as we continue to move forward with some of the advancements that are on the horizon for the landfill. If any of those come to fruition, it's going to be even more of a win-win. And I think, you know, we might all live long enough to see the day that we don't really have a solid waste fee, that it pays us and in return. So congratulations, thank you to the staff, and I think this is great for the citizens.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Commissioner Turner.
I'd like to move that we pass resolution number 2022-073, establishing a solid waste special assessment and user fees.
Second.
We've got a proper motion and a proper second to adopt the user fees and assessments. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I thought he lit up his light, I'm sorry.
Okay. We're good? Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move down to presentations, item A. And this one is a bittersweet. There comes a time in everybody's life when it's time to maybe retire and move on to the next phase of their life. And I'd like to ask Ms. Sharon Treen, County Extension Director for 22 years, to come to the podium. I'll meet you with a little thing we want to honor you with. I hope everyone, the commissioners, will say a few things about Sharon. I've been a commissioner, this is my 6th year, and it's just been a true pleasure to deal with her as far as her capacity with UF and IFAS and the extension agent and director with agriculture and all the different things that she does. Besides the point that probably the first time I met her when I was a new commissioner and they invited the commissioners yearly to go for like a Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, and it was absolutely fantastic. I hope that will continue in your absence. But it was truly neat to go over there and share a meal that they had prepared. A lot of the stuff was grown at their facilities and prepared by staff, and we would get updates from the staff. About that, so, or you're giving them directions, so, okay. But anyway, we just want to honor Sharon today, and as far as the chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, presented to Sharon Treen, County Extension Director for 22 years of dedicated service to the citizens of Putnam County and the Board of County Commissioners, and she was always also recognized as Superior Accomplishment Award in 2018 for UF and IFAS. So let's give her a hand for her accomplishment.
Thank you. Yes, my husband's already very nervous because I'm giving him directions, so. Thank you so much. I have a total of 39 years with the cooperative extension system between Louisiana and Florida, and I've spent over half of my career in Putnam County, 22 years, 2 different times. And so it's been an honor to serve the citizens for a total of 22 years in Putnam County. I'm very appreciative of the commissioner's support, county administration support of myself and our department. Putnam County was where I moved to from Louisiana in 1989, so I have a long history here. I met my husband here 33 years ago, so I have a lot of very fond personal and professional memories here. So I will make sure that the new extension director knows the tradition of the Christmas holiday luncheon to carry that on. And I know that whoever takes my position will continue to move the office forward and meet the needs of the Putnam County citizens. So.
With big shoes to fill.
Well, thank you. Well, I had very big shoes to fill, which I did with Austin Tilton, which I did not even come close to filling. Austin is the one that hired me in 1989, and he was just such a fabulous mentor, the best mentor I ever had. So I'm very grateful for his guidance. So thank you for that.
Come down.
Chairman.
Commissioner Turner?
I have a comment that should have been made under the solid waste collection and disposal district area. Can we go back to that, or is it too late, or do I need to do it under commissioner comments at the end? Legal.
Okay, we'll reconvene the solid waste committee.
Yeah, thank you, and my apologies, Mr. Chairman. It's come to my attention, and we can't do it right now, but I think we need to look at discontinuing curbside pickup for recyclables. It costs $41 a year, only 17% of the people use it, and I'm not saying that we need to stop recycling.
Right.
Let's make that perfectly clear, I'm not. We just need to take a little different avenue at it. In other words, put in collection boxes at the convenience sites, a few of the fire stations that are in between those sites to make them conveniently located. And then next year, that would give us the opportunity to knock possibly around another $30 off the assessment to everybody in the county. So I just want to make it perfectly clear that I'm not even close to saying that we should stop recycling. Quite the contrary. We just don't need to be paying, the county doesn't need to be paying $1 million a year for curbside pickup on recycling when only 17% or less of the people are using it. So we'll make convenient sites. We won't be able to give back the whole $41 because there's going to be expenses in us going out picking up the collection boxes and things like that. But I think we could probably give back around $30, and it could vary $1 or $2 either way when the staff puts the pencil actually to it. But I think it's something we need to consider. We couldn't do it this year because our contract stated that we could not stop this contract until Rich, you may have to help me here, 2023, October 1st, 2023 is the first date that we could stop the contract with 90 days notice. So we couldn't do it. I thought maybe we could do it this year. We can't. That's not in, our contract doesn't allow it. So as of sometime during this year, I request a workshop that we discuss how we could replace curbside recycling with collection recycling for substantial savings to every for every homeowner in Putnam County. So I felt like that needed to be said under the solid waste district, and so thank you for opening that back up for me, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Turner. Okay, any other comments? Okay, we'll go ahead and adjourn the solid waste and reconvene the regular Board of County Commissioners meeting. And we'll move it down to item B, recognitions, Employee of the Month. And we'll ask Sarah Carone and J.R. Grimes and any of the other staff that would like to come down to honor Ms. Colleen Underwood, Putnam County Fire and Rescue for Employee of the Month.
What about her family?
And her family, any of her family would like to come down also?
Here comes Mama. Good morning. So Ms. Underwood was selected as Employee of the Month for June. And some of the excerpts from the nomination are that Lieutenant Underwood is always sharing positivity, past growth, and potential growth for the future of our department. She is a true asset and assists greatly with employee retention. She's also the animal rescuer. She's saved more cats, dogs, and other miscellaneous animals than any other employee to date. So we like that. She also participates in assisting training new medics and assists with training the paramedics. So congratulations. Where are you?
I'd just like to mention for a minute, Colleen's a pure example of just an outstanding employee. This is a package of just nothing but energy. Every time I've ever seen her, there's not 1 ounce of quit in her. She'll go with all day long with a smile on her face, and she's just an exemplary employee that we are honored to have at Putnam County. Thank you.
Good deal. Good deal.
Thank you.
I'd also like to echo all the comments about Colleen. She is one of the best employees that we have. I wish we had about 100 more of her. But yeah, she really makes the shift easy to run. She helps me whenever I can't do something and be in 2 places at one time. Anything I ask her to do, it really does get done. She is an animal lover. She does, put stickers of cats in places that probably shouldn't be putting pictures of cats. But other than that, we're not going to mention all the stuff she's hit with ambulances and fire trucks, wild animals running out in front of her. But she does love her job. She loves the citizens of Putnam County, and it's really evident in her daily life and her daily service to the citizens. Thank you, Colleen.
Good deal. Good deal.
Donald, would you like to say anything?
Thank you.
Since Paul mentioned, I did read the whole thing, and that you had probably saved more cats and dogs and other animals than all of the other employees together, so it won't go back to the one that you didn't save, I guess. So, but anyway, I'm sure that was a unique experience, so. Right.
Yeah, Mom, get in here. We won't bite. JR, you're a little tall. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Tom.
Who's got the hands that are cold?
Me, cold hands, warm heart. Mom.
Thank you. Mom, thanks for sharing her with us. Sweet.
Truly, the best part of the commissioner's job is to be able to recognize employees for their service. And Colleen, we thank you. We'll move down to item C. Julianne will give us the countywide project update.
Thank you, Chairman. Just a reminder, this is not intended to be an all-inclusive list of every project or initiative underway by county departments. It's intended to be a snapshot of those most important to our citizens, our commission, or our administration. With that, we will begin with the administration project of the barge port. The barge port feasibility study conducted by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is in progress. A consultant-composed economic report to reinforce the feasibility study is pending submission to the Corps. The application for Port Infrastructure Development Program grant with the United States Maritime Administration has been submitted and is currently being reviewed. Staff is commencing application process to the Florida Ports Council as stipulated by the Florida House Bill 907, which was signed into law by Governor DeSantis earlier this month. The animal control facility conceptual plans are complete. The BOCC directed staff to pursue a design-build firm at workshop. Staff is developing the specifications for selection. Building and grounds has roofing projects. The agricultural extension office is complete. The governmental complex is roughly at 80% of completion. The Emergency Services Division is going through an ISO rating update. After a year of collecting data on our ISO rating, they're moving to the pre-survey period. The pre-survey has actually been completed at this time. We will now move into the 6 months review period, and the goal is to have a countywide ISO effective in October of 2022. IT has miscellaneous projects. Workstation deployments are in progress. The PC deployments to various BOCC departments to replace aging and out-of-warranty systems is complete, and the clerk of court deployments for the same purposes are slated to begin this month. The phone system E911/caller ID updates is in progress. Networking is working to update the E911 address and caller IDs for the phone system. The project is ongoing. Network security assessment is in progress. Networking on a comprehensive assessment of our network and potential security issues. This is an ongoing project. Smart COP map project nearing completion. GIS has submitted their final map for review to Smart COP and currently awaiting feedback for the rollout. GIS stack has been completed. The servers for the new GIS stack have been provisioned, set up by Esri, and the data migration will be completed over the next 6 months. Storage servers is complete. Our storage servers have arrived and are provisioned for use. The Nutanix cluster is in progress. The hardware has arrived and implementation is scheduled for the end of July with data migration to follow. The Parks and Rec Georgetown project update. UF-IFAS has made a presentation, an initial presentation to staff, and will be completing their documents and sending it to staff to present to the BOCC soon thereafter. The Flora Home Park Historic Building. The Flora Home Park Historic Association is glad to report that on Monday they passed the framing and rough electrical, plumbing, and HVAC inspections. On Saturday, they will have a work day scheduled to install the insulation in the building and are currently trying to coordinate with subcontractors to complete the connection of the water and electricity to the building. Parks and Recreation pickleball at Triangle Park. An intent to award has been issued to Court Services, and staff is seeking board approval for the award at the August 9th BOCC meeting. Public Works Fort Gate Ferry Landing. The welding activities are underway, and the project is anticipated to be completed in October of 2022. St. John's Avenue resurfacing, Palm to CSX crossing at the Palaca Fire Department. A proposed contract for CEI services is on this morning's agenda for formal approval. Concurrence to advertise for construction services can be obtained from FDOT once the CEI contract has been awarded. Advertisement for construction services is anticipated in August of 2022. The County Road 310 Bridge Rehabilitation. Public Works has submitted the submerged land easement shift and is waiting the completely executed easements to be obtained. Advertisement for construction services is anticipated in August. Septic to sewer conversion Phase 3. The award for construction contract has been completed and the pre-construction meeting is anticipated in August. Salem, Sawyer, and Bowl Green drainage projects. The final list items are being addressed. Dirt to pave fiscal year 2021. Construction is underway. The paving activities have been completed on Tropic and Whitetail. The majority of Norwood has been paved. North Lake, George Drive, South Lake, George Drive, Palm Drive, Sandy Street, Ida, Dixon, Lloyd, Nancy Ave, and Lynn Drive have been primed and are scheduled for paving in September. Balsam, Walt, Cypress, and Atkins are scheduled to be primed and ready for paving by the end of this month. Darren Drive is scheduled to begin construction activities in October. All roads are scheduled to be completed by December of 2022. Dirt to pave fiscal year 2022. The survey work has been completed. A proposal was obtained for design services and will be presented to the board during the August 23rd, 2022 transportation meeting. East Putnam drainage and flooding mitigation phases 1 through 4. Notice to proceed has been issued to the contractor and they are planning to begin work July of 2022 on phase 3. Phase 4 permitting and design activities are underway. Phases 1 and 2 are complete. St. John's Avenue drainage improvements, State Road 19 to County Road 309C. The pre-construction meeting has been completed and the construction activities are scheduled to commence in August of 2022. St. John's Avenue multi-use trail. Public Works has obtained the completely executed supplemental agreement 2 from FDOT for the time extension. Countywide drainage improvements. All punch list items have been addressed and the project is officially complete. South Palm Sidewalk, Druid Street to Silver Lake Drive. The bids for construction activities were obtained July 6, 2022, and Public Works is currently waiting for concurrence to award from FDOT. Saratoga Harbor drainage projects. Public Works is currently researching alternative means of repairing the weirs and as well as waiting on the corresponding quotes. The item is anticipated to be discussed during the August 23rd transportation meeting. James A. Long and Jenkins Middle School safe routes to school. 100% of the design plans are under review by FDOT. County Road 315 resurfacing project. The 30% design plans are complete. 60% design plans are scheduled to be obtained on August 5th, and the final design is expected to be completed by January 2023. Port Buena Vista wastewater treatment plant conversion and sewer main extension. Advertisement for construction services is anticipated in September of 2022. Paradise Point sewer system hardening and generator installation. Advertisement for construction is anticipated August of 2022. Countywide guardrail installation repairs and replacements. The award for the construction contract has been completed and the pre-construction meeting is anticipated for August. Countywide road resurfacing for fiscal year 22. The bids have been obtained to complete the project and discussion involving the recommendation to award is anticipated at the August 23rd transportation meeting. Countywide striping project. The award for the construction contract has been completed and the pre-construction meeting is anticipated for August of 2022. East Palaca Septic to Sewer Project Phase 4. Public Works is currently waiting on a proposal from the engineering consultant to complete the design criteria package. Public Works anticipates having the criteria package complete in October of 2022 and to advertise for a design build firm in November of 2022. Countywide bridge repairs. The bids have been obtained and a discussion involving the recommendation to award is on this afternoon's transportation agenda. East Palaca Water Plant retrofit. The bids have been obtained and a discussion involving the recommendation to award is anticipated at the August 23, 2022 Transportation Workshop. Barden Ranchette Road resurfacing project. Advertisement for construction is anticipated in August of 2022. Sanitation Cell 4A construction. 4A is nearing completion. The final drawings have been received and sent to DEP. We are waiting on a scheduled inspection date, and then it should be in use. This completes my report.
Okay, thank you, Julianne. Yeah, a lot of projects are going on in Putnam County. Thank you, Julianne, for that update. Any questions from commissioners? Okay. All right, seeing none, we'll move down to item 5, public comment on agenda items. This portion of the agenda is designed to allow citizens an opportunity to bring matters to the attention of the board. It is not reasonable to expect that the board will engage in debate or deliberation about matters on which the board has received no prior information as part of the agenda. We ask you that you fill out a comment card there at the entrance and the exit of the BOCC chambers, and if you'll give them to Ashley on my left, your right. Any individuals wishing to make public comment on agenda items? Okay, seeing none, we'll move down to item, sir?
I wonder whether you need to make out a public comment card to make a comment or a conversation with the commissioners.
Okay, you don't have to. Is it on an agenda item or is it just general public comment?
Just a general public comment.
Okay, that'll be in just a few minutes then. Okay? Okay, and we'll move down to the consent agenda item. And commissioners, we have 2 items. One of the items, Mr. Siafi, do you want to make a comment on this item, or do we need to just pull it? Just pull it?
If we could go ahead and pull it for
Okay.
discussion.
Pulling
Okay.
item B, is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
All right, we'll start with Commissioner Turner. Any items you want to pull?
B, please.
Okay, Commissioner Harvey?
I have none.
Okay, Commissioner Rawls?
I have none.
Okay, and I have none since item B is pulled.
Mr. Chairman, I didn't really have any particular questions on item B. It's just that we haven't vetted it yet, and I would like if Mr. Siafi could just come up and give us his comment on actually what we're doing. And I know that it has to be done every yearly, I think it is, but anyhow, we have to do this. I just was wondering, have we opened up rhetoric with the different municipalities to let them know that we're changing our interlocal agreements? We have no choice because of the federal floodplain management system.
Yes, sir. Well, we already handle floodplain management for building permits. The state floodplain manager's office wants it in writing to memorialize it. We handle that for the
Okay,
municipalities.
so all we're doing is putting in writing what we're already doing and agreed to.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, that's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Harvey?
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate that because I had some questions last night and this morning. Got them answered. Appreciate it, Mr. Siafi. It looks like we're just memorializing it, so I actually, well, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay.
I think I jumped the gun, I apologize for that, because we didn't pass item A.
I didn't pass it, so let's,
I move that we pass items A
Thank-
and B.
Second.
will that be okay? Okay, got a proper motion by Commissioner Turner, proper second by Commissioner Harvey to approve item A and item B as it slipped by me. So any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign.
Kind of threw me off my game there for a minute.
All right, so we'll move down to item 7, code enforcements. That's Mr. Thomas Moore to come forward. We have one code case for fine reduction, code case 2021-00397.
The address is 148 Lake Margot Drive. Property owner's name is Powledge Living Trust, Sharon Powledge trustees. A violation was care premises. The original fine amount was $4,768.50. Total cost of enforcement action was $1,117. The property owners recently purchased the property. It is now compliant and is requesting a fine reduction. If the board approves, we recommend a reduced fine to be paid within 90 days.
Okay, any questions of staff by commissioners? Okay, is the applicant here or owner here?
No, sir.
Okay, no. Okay, what's the pleasure of the board?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board accepts the $1,117 if paid within 90 days.
Second.
Okay, we've got a proper motion by Commissioner Harvey to accept the fine reduction down to $1,117, which is paid in 90 days. Is that what it is?
That's right.
90 days, and we got a second by Commissioner Rawls. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
All right, thank you,
Okay,
Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Okay, move down to item 8, Honorable Matt Reynolds, Clerk of Court.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. I don't have anything this morning. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you, Matt. And we'll move down to appointments. I'll start with Commissioner Rawls,
I have none.
Commissioner Harvey,
I have none.
Commissioner Turner,
I have none, sir.
and I have none also. So we'll move down to item 10, public comment on miscellaneous items. This portion of the agenda is designed to allow citizens an opportunity to bring matters to the attention of the board. It is not reasonable to expect that the board will engage in debate or deliberation on matters on which the board has received no prior information. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. We would appreciate it if you'd fill out a comment card. It's not necessary. We would like to have them for the record. If you'll come to the podium when I call your name and state your name and address for the record and speak clearly into the microphone. Mr. Bill Thompson. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bill Thompson, 123 Kingfish Avenue, Placer, Florida. I am the chairman of the Citizens Advisory Group for St. John's Harbor Unit 3 MSBU. Came to the hearing last month on the MSBU, and we asked that the MSBU be abolished since it no longer has a benefit at the cost. And we were told we had to have a meeting and get people to agree, which we did on the 17th of July. We had 17 homeowners present. The vote was 16-1 to abolish the MSBU. Okay, in this package is a letter signed by me stating that. Also in that package is a petition signed by 50 homeowners. This is not people that own property and live somewhere else. These are people that live that also agree to abolish the MSBU. So it's back in your court. You know, under Florida statute, you can do that. You told me you had to send out letters to everybody. If that's the case, then let's get the letters out. Let's make sure they state that they're going to pay more if they keep the MSBU. So with that, that's all I have to say.
Okay, Commissioner Turner.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bill, I'm the one that said if you brought that official letter to me that I'd make the motion. Now, would it be in public comment? Do we just need to place it back on the next workshop to talk about and do it then? Because I'm good for my word. I'll make the motion at the appropriate time to send it out, send the letter out like we said. And if it comes back 50% plus one, I'll also make the motion for you to abolish.
Well, we have to make sure the letter is very clear to the facts, that if we keep the MSBU, that those property owners are going to pay another $200 per lot. It's not partial, it's per lot. So.
Okay.
We try to get that in.
We need to put this on the next.
Maybe if we could come up with a tentative, would it be possible to come up with a tentative letter and actually bring that to workshop on what we would like to send out to because we've got the letter from the committee. So could we bring the tentative letter along with it to workshop, and then they can look at it for their review at the workshop along with the motion to go ahead and send out the letter after it's been approved?
Absolutely, sir. We'll make sure that happens. We'll have it as part of the packet.
Thank you, Bill, for your effort on this.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, Commissioner Rawls, I'm sorry.
Bill, if you could, last time we met, we were still tossing around the idea of getting the number for paving. Would you want to see that number in the letter?
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, my mic was off. Last time we met as a group, y'all wanted to see the numbers on paving. Are y'all still interested in seeing those numbers in this letter?
Well, that letter that went out did state all the facts.
Right.
So, you know, no, we did not get more signatures because we didn't really know how to go about it. You know, I mean, we can't go out to people that live in New York. We don't have those addresses. So, you know, could we come up with 14 more signatures? I think that was the number required, probably.
No, the question is, if we're going to send out a letter asking if people want to abolish the MSBU or go forward with the MSBU, do you think we should have the language in there that includes the option of paving if we can get those numbers together?
If you have the numbers. But the letter that went out last time was just a waste.
Right.
Because it didn't state the facts. It had no cost. It, you know, it didn't tell them, the people that, the property owners that, oh, if you don't go with paving, we're going to increase your fees $200 per lot anyway.
And
So-
if the MSBU is abolished, what level of service will y'all be looking for at that point? I think y'all need to be discussing that.
Go into the county maintenance system, whatever that is. I mean, we pay for that service anyway, regardless.
Okay, well, we'll put,
I think this does deserve a lot more attention in regards to a meeting, maybe even a special meeting. I would imagine there's going to be a lot of turnout for it.
okay.
I just
Commissioner
think-
Turner?
I just think we need to respect the decision of the committee. I've talked to them about this when they all were here before and said that we just wanted to make sure that we represent everybody as much as we can. And that if you'd bring an official letter from the committee stating what you want, I would do my best to accommodate. I'm not gonna change that. So if we'll do the workshop, y'all bring it. If you change your mind between now and then that you wanna try to look at trying to come up with some paving cost and put that on there in addition to abolishment, I don't see how you could do really both and have a letter that's not confusing as hell. So I think you're either gonna have to go one way or the other as a committee. And if you decide to go that way, I'll be on board with you. I told you I would before, and I'm not kidding. I mean,
Okay.
I will be on board with you.
Well,
But we,
my concern is we get the letter out, we get the results back before this budget committee that's coming up next month, or September, whenever it is, so we don't get hit with a $200 increase regardless, for no service. So, you know,
what is that timeline? Because I agree with him. Yeah, we don't wanna, if they're gonna abolish MSBU, we surely don't want to then turn around and it go out on the trim notices that they're gonna have to spend another $200 a year when they're not even gonna have an MSBU any longer. That's a valid concern.
Mr. Chairman, to answer the question, I don't want to speak in, emphatically for the property appraiser's office, but I believe the trim notice comes out sometime around the first week of August, first or second week of August.
We already might be too late.
We
for
might
that
be.
this year.
Yes, sir.
All we can do, Bill, is try to call it off and maybe send a letter that if they abolish it, they don't have to pay that on their upcoming next year's taxes for this year, correct? Or, I don't know. I'm getting the evil eye over there, so that may not be possible either, but if there's something that we can do here to help you out, I'll be on board with you.
okay, I mean, I know the commissioners have the power right here now to abolish it under the Florida statute.
As I explained last time
All right.
around, Bill, I'm not gonna do that without sending out a letter to all property owners. I just think that's the fair thing to do. If I lived there, I would at least like to be noticed one way or the other, if it's gonna be there or not be there or whatever.
Yeah, like I said, I just want that letter to have all the facts in it.
Right, yes, sir. That's why I hope you'll come and look at it and see if it suits you or whatever.
I'd
I'm
be
willing
happy to.
Okay. Commissioner Harvey?
Thank you.
Adams, or excuse me, Rawls?
So, just to be clear, I agree with Commissioner Turner. I don't mind abolishing it, but I really think we owe it to you guys to give you 100% of everything you need to make an informed decision, whether it be stay in the course and stay with your grading, or maybe shifting to paving. It may save money, it may cost more money, we don't know yet. Or abolishing the MSBU and make sure that everybody has a full understanding of what the level of service would be. I do know that you have some roads on the 2023 dirt to pave list, but it's not much. So you guys got a little over 4 miles out there that have to be dealt with, and you're talking about, 0.6 of a mile. So it's not going to be a cure-all for anything. So I think we owe it to everybody to get as informed as possible. But I think staff owes you the cost of what it would be to pay those. We've been kicking this can around for a very long time.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last statement.
I said we've been
I'll
kicking
turn
this
my
can.
hearing aid up.
We've been kicking this can around, the paving. They've been asking for the paving numbers for a very long time. I think we need to get them all the information so they can make an informed decision.
Thank you, I heard it that time, thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Harvey?
Thank you. Rich, is there any way that we could possibly talk about this at Transportation Workshop today? As far as the timelines, that might give Mike and Nilda a chance to put some timelines together and see if it's even a possibility that we can, if we have the, could we put it on today? Not make a final decision, but just come back and revisit it at the workshop today.
You can talk about it, but I think those timelines have passed as far as this year, like Commissioner Turner said.
Is it possible, even though they would send it out, that they would not have to pay it? I mean,
It is, because
That's a property appraiser and tax collector question.
we don't finalize our role till, but, Mike?
We can certainly discuss the estimated construction costs based off of historical costs that we spent with dirt to pave. We can present that at the meeting.
That's not
but
what we're talking about.
no, again, for those items right there, as Rich Commando indicated, probably have to speak.
I'm talking about, could we hit our timelines by the time, do you have enough time to see if we can hit our timelines today for a meeting this afternoon that we could talk about?
With regards to which items are you referring to?
For abolishing the MSBU total.
As far as getting out of it to where the fees aren't assessed,
Right.
I'm not aware of what the exact dates on that. I have to research that
I
further.
want to get with Nilda if we can have that discussion.
My biggest concern is that if we don't give them time to research it properly, that we'll give inaccurate information and we'll be worse off than if we just put it off a little while. So, I'm good for talking about it this afternoon again, but I just don't want a shot from the hip answer. I just, if you have time to research it, if you don't, then come and say, look, I just don't know yet.
We can certainly look into it between now and then.
Thank you.
Mike, could you also look and see if they're all Class 1 roads, 2s, whatever they are, and have that information? Because that's going to dictate the level of service.
We'll do that
to
as
some
well.
point.
Yeah.
Chairman,
Okay.
I
Julianne?
apologize. Ms. Nilda, who's very dedicated, is watching the meeting live and trying to send a message. So she is stating that she presents the agenda item to certify the roll at the August 23rd meeting, which would be the drop-dead date that we would either impose the fee or drop it to meet DOR requirements.
And so we do have another first meeting of next month to be able to deal with this. We don't have to do it this afternoon, and we can give them time to look into it.
But what's our
Well,
mailing time?
The turnaround, the question's going to be, how long are you going to give the residents to reply to your mail out?
Right.
Okay, well, we can bring it up again.
We'll bring it up this afternoon.
My concern is the mail time. Okay, so I think that we solve that problem, we can get there.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Francis Gasson?
Sorry. I didn't mean to just jump in.
Oh, you're fine.
My name is Francis Gasson. I live at 169 Bonita Drive, Palaca, Florida. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a committee member on the MSBU, and I was one of the ones that walked door to door. Not one day, but maybe 3-4 days. Every person I talked to, except one, was totally fed up. Their service that we've had has been junk. The service we got from the new guy is no good. And they're all like, the road right now is really good. You know why? Public Works came in and did that. They didn't drag the road and throw the dirt all over our yards and make it where we couldn't keep our yards clean and keep the place nice. But here we go. We need to get rid of it. It's not working. I talked to a gentleman that was on one of the first MSBU's when it started, and he's like, it's outlived its usefulness. It's no longer working the way it's supposed to. So that's all I can tell you. I just wanted to let you know that. Thank you much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Next is Mr. Jim Lewis Hendrix, correct?
Nice to finally meet you in person, Mr. Hendrix.
Yes, sir.
I've talked a lot to you with you on the email.
My pleasure talking with you, and first I want to thank you all for being here, and I want to thank all the department heads for the excellent job they do in this county. And I'll start with the solid waste. I'm from Indiana originally, and there I was home, a couple months ago, and I went to the landfill, and it's $50 a ton, four ton minimum, so it's $200 if I take a load of drywall there, even if it's only a pickup truck load. And the private contractors take care of the door pickup, and it's $30 a month, and you get 3 bags in your barrel every week for that. I just want to make you a comparison, and I see the pickup people on the trucks come by the house, always pleasant, on time. You know, I move my barrel back so they don't have to stop once. For 2 neighbors, they're doing a great job, and that reflects your leadership from the top down. And if it's poor service, I'd be here to tell you that too, believe me. But what I'm here for today really is to talk about the Dunn's Creek Bridge and the removal of the ramp. I've been here since 1997. I live at 409 Mill Street here in Willaca now, and I did live on Hunkins Shortcut Road for 10 years, 287 Hunkins Shortcut Road. And I love the community, I love the river, and I just, matter of fact, I think I'll probably be buried there at Willaca, right across from my house, right across the fence. So that's how much I like it here. But the Dunn's Creek Bridge, the new one, when it was built, they removed the concrete ramp, and I'd been using it since I came down here. Well, I waited and waited for them to reinstall it. Really, there was no reason to remove it for the construction project, because I've done construction my entire life, starting with I-70 across Indiana when I was 15 years old, and as a pipe fitter for 50 years now. But they did remove it, and always before there was 7 to 10 cars parked there at that ramp. So it did get a lot of use for it's actually a 1.5 car ramp. There's a lot of room on either side of the concrete to walk to your boat. And it was a real slow slope going out at Dunn's Creek where I could use it. I've got a bad back, congestive heart failure, and all kinds of other health issues I won't go into. I don't have time on 3 minutes. But at any rate, if you would consider trying to implement a program in the short term, for me and a lot of other people that have 4-wheel drive trucks, just getting permission from the state, whoever owns it and controls it, to take a truckload of rock and put there where there's kind of about a 2-foot little slope there. I can get out of my truck, but I won't go in there because I don't want to be hassled. You know, I don't want the police coming out and telling me I'm trespassing. I don't need that in my old age. But if we could get permission to do that, and in the long term, possibly working with the state for grants to put another ramp in there, and the needs here, Johnny Morse is going to build this attraction at Willaca, and that's fine as long as it's done correctly. But now when BASS and Wolfson and all the tournaments are in town and guys are practicing fishing, and I used to fish a lot of tournaments, I know that you know, we need the extra ramp, and I'll try and get off here real quick. But I want to thank you for your time and your patience and your returning the answer to the emails.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jim.
Thank you very much.
Don't leave just yet. Mr. Jim, don't leave just yet. And I did receive your email, the second one. We talked a while back about this, and also I think about the issue on your road. I have been in contact with Representative Payne and said that, you know, there was a ramp there, and during the construction, they're not able to use it. And also the fire departments use that area for training and stuff like that, to be able to get water out of the river and things like that. So that space under there is needed, and definitely a ramp, because if you know, in Willaca, we've got the Drayton Island ramp, which is going to be rebuilt, but no parking, okay? And we're working on the Georgetown Park to see if we can put a ramp there, but even if you go to Willaca, it's very limited parking, right? And then you go to Shell Harbor, nice ramp, limited parking there. So we're all kind of, handcuffed down in the south end for good ramps with parking. Crescent City has a really nice ramp, and they've added parking also. So anyway, so I did get your email. I will respond and try to get some more information. And Commissioner Turner, I think you want to make a comment also.
Yes, I had sent you an email back the other day letting you know that the commission at its last meeting had allowed staff to reach out to DOT and ask them, we don't own the property that you're talking about, DOT does. And when they were building the bridge, we actually went to DOT and asked DOT to continue the boat ramp, and DOT basically told us they were not in the boat ramp business, and they're not starting the boat ramp business because they'd have to put one in on every bridge in the state of Florida they build in the future. So our next question, just giving you a little history, the next question to them is okay, well, what about us acquiring the land? It's not for sale until we finish that bridge, because they used it for their laydown area to build the bridge. So now the bridge is done. The commission has all voted by consensus to reach out to DOT and find out, is the property now available? If it is, then the first step would be to acquire the property. The next step would be to get permits for the boat ramps and the little lagoon that it would take, because the property is right on the end of that canal coming in off of Dunn's Creek.
Right.
So it definitely takes some permits to get in there and dig a little lagoon and put in a 2 or 3 boat ramp. And then the next step would be to acquire the funding or allocate the funding for it. There may be some fishing fund money, there may be some, but there's no need in starting the funding part of it until we get to where, number one, is DOT even gonna let us have the land?
Right.
And that's what it all is on, but it has started. I just wanted to let you know that this process has started.
And I appreciate it. And I know here it's different than other states. So that's the reason I kind of want to come and ask, to be involved. And it sounds like you already are. And I appreciate the effort. And it's nice living in Putnam County. It really is. About January, February, I like nothing better than to call up and ask my family that's not smart enough to move to Florida. Thank God not all of them do. But it's nice coming. It's nice talking with you. And thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Rawls, did you have a comment?
I just want to say, I spoke to Jim the other day, and I wasn't at the last meeting, so I wasn't aware that we were moving this forward, but I'd ask him to come in and speak to us collectively, because, as one commissioner, I can't get anything done, but I know that Mr. Hotelling has been involved in this, and I actually got him Mr. Hotelling's number as well to see if they might be able to put their heads together, help come up with some funding, or, push this thing in the right direction. So it sounds like it's moving in the right direction.
Okay. Next speaker, Douglas Hayes.
My name is Douglas Hayes, 216 Huron Avenue, Satsuma. This is public comment in regards to agenda items, or is this our? Anything comment, okay. I've been looking into some different things, have concern. The Port Authority project that you have going on, the point of contact is the grant writer and the county administrator. Why isn't the Port Authority managing that project? Wouldn't that make sense for the barge port?
The property is owned by the Port Authority.
Say again?
It's owned by the Port Authority.
Yes, but apparently when I asked where the point of contact, who do I talk to? And it's either the grant writer or the county administrator. Right. I've got some ideas that might be able to improve on the improvements. And you would think that there would be somebody in the Port Authority that's managing the improvements on the barge port versus the county, the grant writer. Why is he in the point of contact other than the funding end of it? At the same time, you've got the grant writer is in these point of contact issues, but then you have to hire somebody in an advisory status at $27,000 to find money for the barge port project. Now, counting the fact that when you made that decision, that most of your grant availabilities, the deadline had been met. So you kind of picked a bad time to make that decision. Especially the grants that I found out about. Basically, the grant writer I informed him about the federal DOT one. There's even more. I just haven't contacted him yet about it. But I was going to look for the Port Authority or the point of contact that would be part of that project. Okay, the next thing. Friends of. We're stricken for manpower and money. In the real world, in some counties, you have the Friends of Parks and Recreation, Friends of Animal Services, Friends of the Library System. That's your citizen participation, not counting the fact that that's another funding mechanism. You can have Friends of Public Works boat ramp division part, where the people that are actively fishing, perhaps it's a fishing club, that when you set up a boat ramp and you have the Friends of, might volunteer their time to clean up instead of putting the burden on the county, even though it would be a county-owned boat ramp. But that gives potential to alleviate some of the tax burden. And then the MSBU, where I'm at a loss is that the citizens want more maintenance on their road, so they're going to pay a premium, and then you farm it out to private contract when the citizens have no say in the contract, so they're not getting the return on their investment. Why wouldn't the county just receive the money and perform more maintenance versus the allotted time? Wouldn't that be cost effective so that the MSBU, I realize you'll have to maybe more staff or more equipment, but if you're performing the MSBU versus theoretically privatizing is supposed to be more efficient, but apparently it's not because they're in the for-profit business. And the contract, because otherwise, I guess our taxes would have to go up on our road maintenance, because if the private contract is so expensive, then why are you inexpensive? I took up my 3 minutes, so
Okay, Doug.
I'll just see you
They
in a
got
couple weeks.
got a couple of questions. Unless I'm mistaken, most of the road maintenance comes from our gasoline taxes, correct? Not your ad valorem taxes. So, Commissioner Rawls?
I'll address this in reverse order. MSBU is really the decision made by the citizens that live inside that MSBU. I think where the commission failed them was we didn't year over year bring them in and sit them down and say, look, costs are going up, and you guys have to realize that services are going to diminish it to almost nothing if you don't pay more money. This year was the year of reckoning, and all, everything came home at one time. So the citizens are seeing what it really truly costs to have a certain prescriptive level of service. If next year those costs go up, that level of service will go down, unless the revenue goes up. It's very simple math. In the case of the MSBU at St. John's Harbor, they went for so long without having any increases in revenue. And then the other problem that they have is they're being charged by per lot, not by parcel. You can have a parcel that has 5 lots in it and pay 5 shares. So there's a lot of issues with that MSBU that I think, and we'll discuss that at the afternoon meeting. But the MSBU is per the Citizens Board and their appetite for whatever it is they want to provide. Regarding the Port Authority, we don't have a Port Authority manager right now. The county administrator fills that role. We have hired a consultant. They are looking at a study right now. Until that study is completed, we really don't know what we have, whether it's good, bad, or anything in between, or what needs to be added into. So I think this is just one of those wait-and-see situations. They're already on board. They've just got to do their job. I would encourage you to reach out to them if you have ideas for grants that they might be able to look into. But they're the ones that we're listening to right now.
Okay, Commissioner Harvey?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Rawls kind of hit the nail on the head a little bit on the MSBU, but with a little different take from my point of view, Mr. Hayes. Citizens Committee runs the MSBUs, and a couple years ago we tried to bring these in for a landing with a minimum standard. Some committees were deciding upon their own not to provide you a service, although you pay a fee. That ain't right, is it, Mr. Hayes?
Absolutely
So
not.
I don't need an answer. I'm just making a comment. You had your time. I'm going to have mine. Okay? So here's how it goes. The Citizens Committee, we tried to fix it last year. We ran out of time. So we mailed out over 30,000 letters this year, and we got it fixed. And like Commissioner Rawls says, it is a day of reckoning. Unfortunately, in some of our MSBUs, the price went down, which was a good thing. Okay? because the economy of scale and contractors were able to do the business in their area. But we do need to have a minimum standard. There is no reason in this world to have a mowing apparatus or availability inside an MSBU for mowing right-of-ways and have 8-inch trees growing in those right-of-ways. Should never have happened. If you mow it one time, mow it once every year, mow it once every 2 years, find a minimum standard, that tree's not going to be there and doesn't have to come back on the citizens of Putnam County to remove those trees at the cost they are today. One simple maintenance would have solved that whole problem. So that's what we're finding out. We're truing up our MSBU's. The Citizens Committee has a lot of input. You might say they don't, they do. Trust me, they do. And they wanted minimum standards too, and they needed these prices to be adjusted. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Douglas. Go ahead.
The question I'm asking is privatization of the MSBU versus the county performing the service, would that be cost effective for the citizens?
Privatized. They are.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You're contracting them out.
They're private contractors.
Right, but
All right, thank you, Douglas. Thank you. Okay, any other public comment? Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public comment portion of the meeting, and Commissioners, I neglected to address under appointments. We need to set and appoint the Value Adjustment Board.
Mr. Chairman, I think historically, the Value Adjustment Board has always been the chairman and the vice chairman over the last several years. I would like to just see that continue on.
Okay. Does somebody want to make that motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make the motion that the chairman is part of the Value Adjustment Board, the vice chair is part of the Value Adjustment Board, and Todd Dixon at large would be part of the Value Adjustment Board.
Second.
Okay, we got a proper motion, we got a proper second under discussion. So my first question, it says term expires in August of 2023.
You don't need.
Huh? Okay, so we'll renominate again because I will not be chairman in August of 2023.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure I know that. And then you said Todd Dixon did not wish to serve.
He doesn't wish to serve? Okay.
Okay, would you remove that portion from?
I amend my motion to remove Todd Dixon's name off the Value Adjustment Board.
Okay. Any other, got amended motion and amended second to remove Todd Dixon. We'll move forward with the nomination or recommendation of the chair serve as the chairman of the board, serve as the chair of the Value Adjustment Board, and the vice chair serve as a vice chair. So any further discussion? All in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Mr. Chairman?
What kind of time frame do we have to fill this? What's the date? Do we have another meeting, or do we need to try to, it's going to be hard to do something today.
We have an August 5th Value Adjustment Board that is not on any agendas or it's not on any schedules, and the people, the members of the Value Adjustment Board haven't heard about it. That's next week.
Well, it's going to have to change.
Well, who's changing it? Well, no, it doesn't come from Sarah. I'm sorry. It comes from the chairman of that Value Adjustment.
And that may be, we're learning here on this end of the dais, but we'll see what we can do about finding out when the actual date will be, and make sure that sometime today, and if we need to make any adjustments before the 2 o'clock or the 5:05, we'll make sure that you folks are aware of that.
Well, we need to have time to find somebody to
Absolutely.
fill Todd's shoes. I was very unaware until just now that he wasn't wanting to do it again next year. He's been a valuable member of that committee, very valuable member, and he's not going to be easily replaced by
Amen.
the Value Adjustment Board. So, we're going to have to give some thought to this one.
I absolutely agree. So first of all, let me find out exactly what's going on as far as dates and times, and we'll get back before the 2 o'clock session this afternoon.
Usually they come from Tim Parker's office, don't they?
I believe that's probably where it will come from, so I'll reach out to either Mr. Parker or Mr. Davis and see if we can get an answer today.
Okay. Commissioner Harvey?
Then we get the school board member too, right? So.
Yeah, I saw in there that it will
And
be, yeah, it'll be Sandra Gilliard with an alternate of Bud McGinnis, and then Judd Neufeld will be the citizens
Okay, so we're
representing the
not
school
in,
board.
we would have a quorum then if
Yes.
we needed to. Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay, we'll move down to county administrator comments.
I have none, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, county attorney.
Sorry, I'm going to surprise you, I got one. I just want to make sure that under the consent agenda where we were, where you had voted to approve the interlocal agreements, there was actually just a scrivener's error where we didn't include the city of Palatka. And then that's the handout that I walked out, and I know that each of you know that. I just want to make sure that for the public's purposes, they understand that one of the interlocal agreements that you voted on was the Palatka agreement that was handed out today, and then we'll include a copy of that along with today's minutes. There's no significant changes. It was just left off inadvertently. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rich. Okay, we move down to commissioner comments. Commissioner Rawls.
Yeah, I just want to say, I missed the meeting last time because I was under the weather, and then since then, my wife and I both have each had a parent diagnosed with cancer. And the amazing thing about being in Putnam County is the fact that you're able to move through the system at a rapid rate, getting care and being able to move through. So Dr. Curavella is a hero in our estimation. He's really stepped up and done some wonderful things for our family members. But just want to say that just anybody that does pray to please keep our family in their prayers because we need a lot of support.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Rawls. Commissioner Harvey.
I have none, sir.
Commissioner Turner.
I have nothing to add.
Okay, yeah, and I'll add to Dr. Cravella. I don't know him as well as my brother and some others, but we have somebody with his skills and talents in Putnam County, and he could be anywhere in the world that he wanted to be with his practice, and he's brought a top-notch cancer facility and staff to Putnam County, and he's just a true hero for Putnam County. Commissioners, I don't really have any comments. We do have a 2 o'clock transportation meeting, and we do have a 5:05 public hearing. So at this time, if there's no further comments, I'll just recess this meeting until this afternoon.